What has happened? What have you learned since the legalized?
It's been exciting. I mean, what we've learned is that there's a lot that's similar, but also a lot of differences from the fantasy sports product and how those customers respond. I was surprised at how many. Well, I was surprised at how many new customers came on. We thought it was going to be mostly overlap, and about half of our customers in New Jersey are brand new to the platform that we try, and we certainly advertise, so I'm sure they knew about the fantasy sports product before. But
is it a different demographic too, Jason?
They tend to be a little younger, but otherwise it's a similar demographic. It's actually quite similar. So it's just people with different interests in different products.
So talk to us about the stickiness. I'm always curious about kind of the retention rates, that you get somebody who's on your platform and they keep coming back.
It's actually really seasonal because it's driven by the sporting calendar. So we always look at year-over-year metrics, which we don't have any for the sportsbook yet. On our fantasy product, we retain almost 80% of our customers year to year. So really hard to tell, though. After the Super Bowl, there's a big drop-off. Then it picks up again for March Madness. So it's hard to tell what the true retention rates are.
Well, what did you see for some of those big events, the Super Bowl and for March Madness?
Super Bowl was by far our biggest day ever. It was huge. We had an unbelievable amount of participation. March Madness was actually a little bit spread out, so it's not the same as that one big day, but overall we had more activity at March Madness than we did on the Super Bowl. It's just over the course of several games instead of one.
So tell me a little bit about esports, and I'm curious, as you guys now a year in, where you're looking for new opportunities, what do you think is the potential for esports? Well,
esports is a product we've had in fantasy for several years now. It's got a very avid following, and we have some cool integrations, like you can actually watch the esports contests on DraftKings while you're playing. So I think it has a lot of potential. It's something that unfortunately in New Jersey is currently prohibited on the betting side, so we're not able to offer esports betting, but I'm hopeful that over time that will be possible, because I think it would make a great betting product.
I do wonder about kind of what's standing in the way of full nationwide adoption of legalized betting, online betting.
And it's just going to take time. It's a state-by-state legislative thing, and they all have a different process. Some have to go to the ballot, and after they pass the law.
What's holding them back? Because I think everybody thought this would be additional revenues or something coming in.
I don't know that I would say that a lot of them are being held back. I think it's just, government's the slow process. And even after they pass laws, actually 4 states just in the last 2 weeks have passed laws, Tennessee, Iowa, Indiana, and Colorado. They're all a little different, but they all still have to go through a process of issuing regulations and issuing licenses. So, New Jersey was a bit of an outlier. You're seeing, for example, West Virginia and Pennsylvania that passed in Q2 of last year just starting to get operators live online in the next quarter or two. So it's about a year later by the time they're finally getting live.
It just takes a while.
Yeah.
How far away, then, are we from all 50 states being on board?
I don't know if all 50. I mean, there's going to be some states that choose not to for a very long time. I think we'll get a very large percentage of the country within 4 to 5 years, as in 30-plus states.
I'm also curious about mobile, because you guys did launch the first mobile app in New Jersey. I mean, what additional opportunities do you see with mobile?
Well, mobile is where all of our volume almost is in New Jersey. I mean, we have a small amount of volume coming through retail, and it's a great space in Atlantic City at resorts, but it's just so convenient for people to use their mobile device. You can use it from anywhere in the state. It's not just us. It's in Jersey overall. About 85% of revenue is coming from mobile now. So it's really critical, and it's also how most of the black market operates today.
Which is nice to know.
Yeah, well, it's where people want to go.
It's where people operate.
Yeah.
I am also curious about competition. We have Fox getting into this. I mean, how do you see that? Is it just the more the merrier, or do you see it as competition for your users?
We always knew this is going to be competitive, so...
But it's a big media name.
I actually think that's a great thing, and I'll tell you why. It mainstreams it in a way that we never could on our own, and I think it also is going to prompt other interesting partnership opportunities that emerge, because, as we know, once one big company in a space makes a move, others start moving faster, and I think a lot of the media companies have been kind of biding their time, figuring out their strategy. Now I think you're going to start to see some real partnership moving.
So you anticipate more big media names coming on and doing the same?
That's a guess. I don't have any reason to believe it, other than in every other market I've seen, when one big competitor jumps, the others tend to, at least some of them tend to start moving.
Jason, what does it mean for you guys? I mean, at one point you tried to get together with FanDuel, right? That got blocked by regulators. You have a partnership with Caesars, right? And they've taken an equity stake, and they're going to get a piece of some of your gambling revenue. So does that become, are you looking to do more with them, a bigger partnership at some point?
Well, we have a lot of really exciting things we can do with Caesars. They have an amazing set of resort properties, and I think there's a lot we can do over time with them as a partner. And we're also partnering with a number of other great casino operators. We're trying to partner with different media companies. Disney owns a stake in our company, so that's interesting to us. We think having multiple relationships is important, and Caesars is a really good one.
Do you think then, so then ultimately you can stay solo, go it alone, and just have these partnerships, or do you think ultimately you'll hook up with somebody else?
I don't know.
Especially as there's more competition.
I think whatever makes sense is what we'll do. Right now, I feel our best route is to stay solo, and that can change over time. Markets consolidate as time goes on, but right now, I think we have an amazing opportunity in front of us. We're growing like crazy. We grew over 60% in Q1 year over year.
That's revenues?
Yeah, so we have a really big opportunity in front of us, and we'll have to see how things play out. And right now, I think our best bet is to stay alone, though.
All right.